how excited I am that I'm here to interview the one and only president of Wynn Max Tapanier. You're here in the house. How do you feel?
I feel great, Rosamund. Thank you.
I want to say you're in the hot seat with me, but it's only the sun, so don't worry. Before we start on the Wynn, I just want to take a moment to honor your career experience. You have been in the industry for over 20 years, and you're truly a leader when it comes to hospitality, hotel, and most important, in the resort industry. You've been with Wynn since 2022, and you held the position of Senior Vice President of Operations, and of course played such a key role in optimizing guest services and of course operational efficiency. So you're really bringing that Wynn ethos and values to this incredible project. And of course you worked at the Venetian, Palazzo, Mandarin Oriental, and Kempinski. Before we start, I mean, everyone loves hospitality. How did you fall in love with this industry?
Thank you, Rosamund, and really appreciate this opportunity. Excited to speak with you. I was born into this industry. My mother and my father worked at the Hotel Fiara site in Munich, and that's where they met. And so my brother and I, at a very young age, spent all of our holidays and New Year's Eve celebrations on property, in a tuxedo, in a grand ballroom, with guests and dignitaries. And so at a very young age, I was exposed to hospitality and the passion that it takes to run a luxury hotel, right? And as we got a little bit older, my father asked my brother and I what we wanted to do. And my brother wanted to get into banking and financing. And I wasn't clear on what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to work as hard as my father. And so he said, stay away from hospitality. As you can tell, that did not work out. I did find my way into hospitality after all. And so I started my career in Munich, and then worked in Berlin and London. I worked for some great properties in Europe, old school European hospitality, where we would clean glasses with white gloves. We would iron newspapers to make sure that there was no ink that made it onto our guests' hands. When I was a doorman, I wore a big top hat, right? Very traditional European service. And then I found my way to the US and really fell in love with the United States. I worked in New York, I opened a property in New York, and then I spent a couple of years in DC. And then I found my way to Las Vegas. And in 2015, I joined gaming. And so yeah, I've had an incredible career. It's been a wild ride. I've worked for some great mentors and made many friends along the way. But when I came to Las Vegas in 2009, I was invited for dinner at Lakeside at the Wynn. And I had never been, and we were a large group, and we sat on the lake in Lakeside, and we had an incredible dinner. And the show came on, and the singing frog came out, and it was a very, very special evening. And that evening, I kind of spent a little bit of time at Wynn, and I saw the entertainment options, the restaurants, the beautifully manicured horticulture, and so on. And I thought to myself, one day I will want to work for Wynn. And it took me 13 years, but 13 years later I joined as head of hospitality at Wynn Las Vegas and served as EVP of operations. And then 2 years ago, Craig Billings, our CEO, I'm sorry, not 2 years ago, about a year ago, asked me to come visit Ras Alkhaimah. And I came out here, fell in love with the project, fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the UAE, and I feel privileged to be part of this region with this signature project.
Well, we are very excited to have you in the region, and you have a very big task at hand. You are taking it from development, which is what you're going to see at the back here, right to this beautiful project, to operations. Let's dive into the Wynn.